Welcome, everyone. What a lovely morning. Today's topic for morning inspiration: confidence comes with practice. Confidence comes with practice. Actuality is confidence in the law, and your use of the law comes with practice. Why would confidence come when you practice? Well, then you are sure of what you are doing. How do you practice the law on a daily basis? I know they say we have over 70,000 thoughts in a day. Plus, can you imagine 70,000? How do they know we have 70,000 plus thoughts in a day? They say, oh, there's no way you can keep track of those. Sure, there is. Instead of allowing the mind to run amok, give it something to think about. Because it's always going to be thinking, that is its nature. So give it something to think about. That way you know persistently what you are thinking. Now, why would that be important? Wherever you are in your mind, Neville Goddard calls it the state. Wherever you are in your mind is where you will be creating from. Remember yesterday's analogy. If you go grocery shopping and you're hungry, yikes, you'll get some of everything in your cart, but not exactly what you wanted, because you are shopping from a state of hunger. The same is if you live your life from a place of what? Not clarity, confusion. Meaning you're never really sure of what it is that you want. So how would you practice? You begin practicing using the law by having clarity. Clarity meaning what? I want to create, and you name it. Be clear about it. Remember, we are clear about things not because we want to know if it is possible or not. We are clear about it because we are creating it. Clearly, if you can see the image, it is possible. This is why clarity is imperative to creation. Know what it is you want to bring about. Know what it is that you want to bring about. The more clear you become, yes, the more confident you become. It's just through practice. You're clear. Next thing you know, there's my creation. I see it. And you say, another manifestation. That's what you'd say. Well, then how would you practice correspondence? Just like scripture says, from the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. From the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. What is within you? What state are you speaking from? Oh, I can't really do these things. I've tried. I don't know if that's really possible. What state are you speaking from? One of doubt. How do you eradicate the doubt? You go outside and just like Summer Rose, plant your garden. Whatever seeds you've planted in that garden, you know exactly what harvest you will get. So the thought you consistently have in your mind is the experience you will continually have. This is correspondence. So if you give your mind a particular focus, if you say to yourself, because some people use theirs for reciting manifestation, affirmations, sorry. I am, I am, whatever you want to say, I am, and then dot, dot, dot. People use that. But if you put your mind, where do you want to put your mind? Some people say, put your mind upon gratitude. Just go through your day flipping through the Rolodex of your mind of all the things that you were grateful for. What would possibly happen if you put your mind on gratitude? Well, they also tell you gratitude is one of the highest vibrations. What does it mean to be a high vibration? You see, gratitude feels good inside the body. It feels good. When you say, wow, shoot, I'm really grateful for whatever that thing is. I really appreciate having that. Oh, I'm glad that I get to experience that. It physiologically makes your body feel good. This is why that sensation in your body is a good thing to pay attention to. Because if you started to think about money, if your mind wandered away and you started to think about money and your body started to feel tense, you feel a little panicked, you feel a little worried, that sensation in your body is telling you what you have stored in your subconscious mind, what that impression is, what that picture is. Every time you think of money, there's a picture. And you might not see the picture, but your body registers the picture by the way it feels, which is the vibration. If you go into a room and automatically you're on edge, something just doesn't feel right, that is the vibration. So if you walk into any space and you say, you know what? Let's just be open and see what we feel. This is how you train your intuition. You practice. You see, remote viewing. Oh, wow. The CIA uses remote viewing. People think it's this big convoluted thing. I want you to think about that for a moment. They come and they give you what? A picture of someone or something and say, hey, find that. If you have a picture of something, you'll find it. Well, what does that sound like? Mentalism. It is mentalism. You have a clear image of what you're looking for. You ever lost your keys? And then all of a sudden the image of where your keys are flashes into your mind? That is remote viewing in a nutshell. You have a clear image, you'll find it. It will reproduce itself for you. And the more you practice, the more confident you become in your seeking skills. It is in the practice of a thing that we gain our confidence in ourselves to use the law, because it is always on. Gravity hasn't turned off, so the law is always on. Right? Take your time to practice. Take your time to practice. Practice is essential. Without it, you don't know what you know. It is always in the practice. Why is that? Do we remember how we program the subconscious mind? Repetition. Repetition is practice. Repetition is practice. And that is how we program the subconscious mind. That is how we get a thought from the conscious to the subconscious. Law of gender, project it there. And Neville Goddard always said, the best time is sleep. But now science is showing you why the best time is just before sleep, or a hypnotic state. The brain waves, you slow them down, you can give a suggestion. Neville calls it the state akin to sleep. That's one of the best ways of leaving an impression upon the subconscious mind. But you must practice doing it. Well, how do you practice? You practice sitting there and allowing your body to become incredibly calm and at ease. And when you do that, the image you have in your mind, your conscious mind, it's like you're holding up an image and you're pointing at it and you're saying, "Hey, have you seen this? Have you seen this person? Have you seen this thing?" You're pointing at that image, that photo in your hand, and you're saying to the big crowd, "Hey, have you seen this person? Where did you see them?" That's in essence what you're doing. You are holding up the image and you're pointing to it. You're calling attention to it. And it is impressed upon your subconscious mind. And that image stored within the subconscious mind, you replicate it or duplicate it. You bring it about. Well, how do you know that that's what you're doing? When you write, when you sing a song from memory, what are you doing? You're taking the stuff that's in your subconscious mind and bringing it about in the world. You're causing it to materialize. Manifestation. Every time you write, every time you speak, every time you read, every time you walk, every time you talk, all those things, those activities, those things that you have practiced day in and day out, your multiplication tables, are in your subconscious mind. And every time you recall them and you do them, you are manifesting. It is the same way now. If you have a tendency to beat yourself up and say, "Oh, I'm not good enough. Oh, I'm this. Oh, I'm that." What are you doing? Recalling a memory that made you feel a particular way. And now you make your choices because of the way you feel from that memory. So you see, we are forever creating from a state. And so to practice consciously creating deliberately from a state, get into the state that you want to be in. What's that state? One of the best ways to remember the state, are you remembering something? When you remember something, that is a state. A memory is stored in your subconscious mind. When you recall a memory, it's a thought, yes? And then you speak. But then you do something else. You act the way that memory makes you feel. You bring about the manifestation. Why does this keep happening to me? Because we keep thinking and speaking in the same way. So if you want to change, you practice using the law of polarity. Well, whichever one comes to memory first, that you think is most relevant to you. Polarity says, where are you now? And where would you like to be? And in between the space are the action steps you take to take you from where you are to where you want to be. So every day, what must be done? The action steps in the space that continually take you from to, so that what happens? You reprogram the subconscious mind with that new activity, so that what happens? You think from there, you speak from there, you act from there. And every single day that you see what you are doing deliberately, you say, "Oh, I'm doing this. Oh, yes, I am. I am being consistent in my actions." And sooner rather than later, it will take a hold in my subconscious mind. As I reminded us, when you sing the song from memory, you're recalling it from your subconscious mind. And so the more you practice programming your subconscious mind by repetition, yes, the more you practice that and you begin to see the things that come out of your subconscious mind, what will you say? Oh, I just manifested that thing. And we do it and we're like, oh my God, I'm so surprised. There aren't any surprises with the law. None. So then what happens? You say, just as you would say if you were gardening, you know, if I plant melons, but what kind of melon do I want? As I told you yesterday, red flesh, yellow flesh melon, cantaloupe, honeydew. Then you will plant the appropriate seed. And then when you put that seed in the ground, you will know, I'm getting a harvest of melons. I'm getting a harvest of melons. Which also means if I do this particular behavior consistently, then it becomes a memory and I will start living from there. That's how you take it from the garden in the backyard to the garden of your mind by way of practice. Every day you practice until it becomes what? Second nature. But what does second nature mean? You can do it with your eyes closed. Which means what? It is so embedded in your subconscious mind, you don't even have to think about it. Just the thought of, just the sliver of a thought, and you spring into action based upon that thought. Autopilot. This is why it is necessary that you choose what you will put in there. Well, how do you choose what you're going to put into your subconscious mind? The same way you choose what you will put into your garden. What you want to see or experience. You want peas? You just want to go out there and pick those sweet sugar snap peas? Well, then you have to plant those because you can taste the sugar snap peas. So you plant them. So you want to have a relaxed and easy day. You want to be accomplished in your day. You want to be productive in your day. Then begin to practice planting the seeds of productivity. You know what? Here's my list. I'll get this done, this done, this done, this done, this done. And every day you put in the time to do the list that you just did. Because in a week or two, so long as you remain consistent, you will get up every morning and you will do the tasks that you've assigned for yourself. And then at the end of the day, you will say, what a productive day I had. But to get that productivity, you must do it. Do the thing. Use the law. Let us take a moment to welcome everyone into the space. Now, I can't see what's going on Facebook because I don't have a device open for that. But I know if you're there and you hear me, hello. Twitter, I see you. Muck45. Meep, I see you both. Thank you for being here on such a lovely day. Such a lovely, lovely day. Fan base, hello. Who do we have in the space today? We have Oracle Treehouse, My Melanin, Miss McQueen, Yolanda, Zola. We have Elle. Hello, Elle. I haven't seen you in a bit. And we have Summer Rose. Indeed. Now, who do we have in YouTube today? We have Ty's Tidbits, Empress Ella, Zenobia. We also have Nancy, A. Knot, and David. Welcome to the space. And for the replay gang, thanks for being here also. I trust that today we are emboldened to practice. This is why the scripture tells us not to grow weary in doing good. Well, what does that mean? It means when you say to yourself, I am practicing, I'm doing my repetition. You know, you go to the gym and you say, I'm doing my reps. What are reps? Repetitions of the same task over and over and over again. And you know what else you call that from the gym? Muscle memory. Muscle memory. What does that mean? It means when you go to the gym and you look at the particular apparatus that you practice all day, every day, your brain says, oh, we're doing this, are we? And when you get there, what do? You assume the position and you do it because your body remembers. You are doing it from your subconscious mind. Because why? You practiced. And so that's why you can confidently do that thing. But in the beginning, it feels like, oh my God, will I ever get it done? How am I possibly going to memorize these dance steps? And you feel somewhat overwhelmed. I don't know. But how do you memorize them? Practice. Remember, the law is always there. When you practice dance moves, yes, what are you doing? Getting the dance moves into your subconscious mind. That's what you're doing. That is what you are doing. So, today, the encouragement is this: be clear about the task and practice the task consistently and with some joy. We know that when you're working on your fitness, who wants to go to the gym? Please. Some of us, we'd rather sleep in. I know. But if you say the image that you're holding up is a lifestyle of health, and you want to move your body more, well, then that will involve you going to the gym. And when you get there, you put that song on that you love. And every time you listen to that particular song and you work out, now every time you hear it, your body says, oh, we're working out. I'm ready. I'm ready. Just like when your dog, if you're going to take it for a walk and you say, go get your leash, or it sees the leash, it's like, ooh, we're going for a walk. We're going for it. Brings it to the forefront and says, oh, we're doing this. It is the practice that will bring you the confidence. So that when you say, well, I call those things that are not as though they were, and they become. And you say it with what? Boldness. Why? Because you know. When you experience the thing, you now know it. You no longer have to believe it or take it as hearsay. You don't have to do that. The law does not encourage hearsay. The law encourages knowing a thing. That's what it does. All day, every single day. So, you see, this is why I love the law. I love the law because it is precise. It is clear. It is reliable. It doesn't vacillate ever. It is what it is. Right? It is what it is. Why, yes. Zola, drop it in the chat for me. Because there's another one in my DMs for me. There's another one in there that I'm going to read. my resident gardener says to me that some things grow better next to things, right? For instance, if you've got pole beans, plant pole beans with corn. They have something to trellis themselves on. The corn, the stalk of the corn, right? That's why you understand when the law says to you, things that are similar in vibration will come together, won't they? That's why when you're planting your garden, just like she says, certain things like the company of other things. Just like if you have an aphid problem, go to your local garden store and get your favorite pet, ladybugs. Ladybugs. You see, every cause has an effect, and every effect has a cause. The problem has the seed of the solution within it every single time. So if you say, my word, I have a problem here, look at the problem that you have. Aphids? Oh, you have a winged pest? Then you need another winged thing. Ladybug. They're carnivorous. Yes. And when they're done feasting on aphids, they just fly away. They just fly away. You see, if you look around you, you will see the law at every turn. Yes, planning must be done. This is why that word clarity. Clarity in your thought. Because now when you see the image, when you say, okay, look, I'm planting this, this, and this together, what's that going to look like? You get a clear image. And that's how you'll begin to know, okay, well, this likes this company and this likes that. And if you want more bees in your garden to help you pollinate, well, then there's certain flowers that bees love. Plant them in the midst of things. Causation. There's always something that you've got to do to bring about that effect. Right? And all it requires of you, right? All that is required for you to do is to practice. Just practice. Practice the activity. Right? That's what we're focused on here. I'll tell you how to make it short, Zola. What was it that you wanted? And how did it unfold? Those two things. Clarity of thought. Because I don't want to, because I want to, I'll tell you what I want to do. I want to keep us on a particular path in our minds. So, practice the law on a daily basis. Practice on a daily basis. And the first place to start is always where? The mind. Why? The universe is a mental creation. So be clear and precise about what seeds you are planting. And you always know what seed to plant based upon the experience or the thing you want to eat from your garden. That's how you plant. You look at the effect. This is why Neville Goddard says, go to the end. Go to the end. You want that yellow-fleshed watermelon? That's the end. So clearly, then you'd have to go to the garden store to get those seeds because of the end that inspired you. Let us take a moment to just ponder that for a moment. Where are you going to practice this morning? Ah, let me read it for us all. I was getting discouraged with trying to get my daughter into an ABA therapy clinic because of slow insurance. I was struggling imagining a brand image of my daughter getting in. So I started small and imagined the director just coming to me saying she's been approved in my head daily. She hasn't been approved yet, but proof that my thought process has been working is that 2 kids in front of her with the same insurance finally got approved, and she's next in line. I was thinking of that same verse you stated, not getting weary in doing good. You see, it is. I love this testimony here for you. Remember what I said? It is not whether or not the thing is possible. That's not what you're doing. It's not whether you think it is possible or impossible to achieve. The fact is, which is law, you have the image in your mind. You hold the image and you reinforce the image on a daily basis. Why would you do that? Because you are getting it into your subconscious mind by way of repetition, of seeing the same image or hearing the same congratulations every day. But now, that's to program the subconscious mind. But to impress, when you think of that thing you are creating, there should be a sensation of, this is exciting. Like when you go out to your garden and you watch those little seedlings, saplings come in, and you just, when you're watering or you're plucking weeds, you're looking at it and you're saying, oh, this is exciting. My harvest is going to be incredible. That's what you're saying when you look at your garden. And you talk to your plants, do you not? Well, according to science, plants thrive when you speak to them. Well, they sure don't have ears, but they feel you. They feel your exuberance. So the sensation of having accomplished the thing, that sensation of, ooh, I did it. I did it. And you do a happy dance. Why? Because the strong emotion coupled with repetition impresses the subconscious mind. It's like a branding iron. And it leaves that image in the subconscious mind. And then that is what you will recreate. So you see, my beautiful Zola, when you have that image in your mind and you reinforce it every day, how do you reinforce it? By telling yourself, I planted my seed. I'm watering it. You know this harvest is going to be bountiful. That's what you tell yourself on a daily basis with that excitement, because that's what you've done. You've planted a seed in the garden of your mind. And if you have doubts, doubts are like aphids. So now we want who? Ladybugs? What are ladybugs? When you see a ladybug, doesn't it make you feel happy when you see one? So now a ladybug thought would be, you know what? I am glad I know the law. And the law is always there. I don't have to fret. I don't have to believe the law. I can see it. I planted this seed. And I feel good about what I planted. And that's how you talk to yourself. That's how you sprinkle ladybugs into doubt. Every day. And you say, you know what? Oh, look at these saplings coming in. They're so lovely. Every day we do it. And that's why you don't grow weary. Listen, by the time you get to month 10 in your pregnancy, you're like, okay, look, I'm going to evict you from my uterus. But the whole 10 months, What did you do? You rubbed your belly. You felt the baby kick. You talked to your baby. You poked the baby. My son was very ticklish. That's how I knew. I just poke him. He'd flit to one side. I poke him on that side. He'd flit right back. And I know he's been ticklish ever since. Why? You didn't grow weary in carrying the child and nurturing it. I mean, some days it felt like, okay, are we there yet? You know how we get. But we didn't grow weary. Your ankles may have swollen, but we didn't grow weary. We just grew some more. And we grew some more. But weary was not one of them. Even though you had to stop on the stairs for a minute to catch your breath. But here's something for you. You know, when the baby slips down into that head first position, because you're approaching the time, and you know how you know? Because you can take a deep breath. That is the rhythm, the law of rhythm. It is the ebb becoming the flow. You feel it, literally speaking. You can say, oh, wait, well, you're on your way out, aren't you? Because you can breathe nice and deep again. You see the rhythm. The law of rhythm is always there. And the same way that happened is the same way everything else will come to fruition. You just need to plant the seed. Just plant the seed. What happens when we plant seeds? We reap a harvest. Is that not the effect? Cause and effect. So when you practice the law, you gain confidence in yourself and the way you use it. That is your word today. Ah, beauty queen Onika, I see you. That is law, day in and day out. Do your part. Practice. That's your part. How easy is that? Think about that for a moment. You just get to practice? Yes, the law does all the work. You just show up and reap the rewards because you practice. The law makes things flow with ease. Doesn't it? I don't see the sun up there. It is out, by the way. I don't see the sun up there struggling to shine. It just does. Nothing struggles by way of law. It all flows with ease. That is also something you can tell yourself. How do you know the law doesn't struggle? Cause and effect. It doesn't say cause and then we'll wait and see what happens. No. It tells you every cause has its effect. That's what the law tells you. And it also tells you what? If you know the cause, you can predict the effect. Tell me again how we have to struggle to figure it out. The law is not going to make you struggle to figure anything out because it does not struggle. It just simply says, is that a clear image? I can do something with a clear image. That's what it says. Give me your clear image. This is why we hear that saying, you give a woman a house, she'll make it into a home. That is what? Bringing forth a manifestation. Yes. The simple things. The law makes life simple. And Confucius says, well, we humans like to complicate things. So take your time today and practice. That's what I'll tell you. I'll leave you with that. I'll leave you with that. We have a homeschooling outing today, and that will be a pleasant experience. Yeah, I think it will be. I know it will be. It'll be fun. Oh, Lord. A park filled with people. Yes, it'll be fun. It will be. Anyway, practice using the law and your confidence will emerge. You'll walk straighter, look people in the eyes. You'll have a firm handshake. And instead of thinking that you cannot overcome insecurities, when you practice the law, insecurities are like aphids. Practice the law and you will sprinkle ladybugs in the mix. Do you have to get rid of the aphids? No, the ladybug does that for you. You just gotta sprinkle them in there. That is my encouragement to you today. Go forth and practice, and you will see that all those dark little corners that you didn't know were there, the light is opened on in that window and it shines through, banishing the darkness. That's what happens. That's what happens. You don't have to struggle. You don't have to fight. You just need to practice the law. Countdown initiated. 5, 4, 3. Oh, Twitter. Thank you for being here. Oh. Lou. Hello, stranger. I haven't seen you in quite some time, darling. It is good to see you. It is good to see you. And Meep, thank you also for being here in the Twitter sphere. Remember, tonight, 9:45 Eastern Standard Time, right here on Fanbase, YouTube. What will we do? We will hit the bowl tonight, the Tibetan bowl. And we will feel the sensation as we have a particular thought. So that what? We will begin to get a sense of what is in our subconscious minds so that we can reprogram it if it is undesirable. Feel the sensation. That's what we do on Tuesday nights. I love you, Twitter. I'll see you around. Twitter is closed. Fanbase. Yeah, I hear you. Summer Rose. L. Miss McQueen, My Melanin, Oracle Treehouse, Yolanda, Zola. I love you all. And thank you, my beautiful friends, for sharing this morning. Thank you for that. Zola and Yolanda, thank you for moderating the Fanbase space. I appreciate your assistance every single morning. Thank you. And you know where to find us. Shea Butter. You know where to find us to get the last remnants of gravy from the bowl right here on YouTube. I will see you there. Much love, Fanbase. Much, much love. Fanbase is closed. Now, let's pop in here into the chat. How's everybody doing on YouTube this morning? I trust all is well. I can't see anything because I don't have another device that will show me what's going on in the chat for YouTube, but they can catch the replay also. So remember, this morning we practice, and we don't get discouraged in our practice, because what are we doing when we practice? Zola darling, what are we doing when we practice? We're watering the seeds that we've planted. We're shining light on the seeds that we've planted. We're plucking the weeds from amongst the seeds that we've planted. That's what we're doing. We are tending our garden, the gardens of our minds, when we practice. That's what we're doing. And you see, it will always bring you confidence. That is the effect because you practice. And it is most beautiful. I know some things are a little challenging sometimes, but that's always in the beginning. It is always only in the beginning that it seems hard because you've never done it before. But the more you do it, the easier it becomes. That is why we must persist, even if we think, oh my God, this is too hard. Like algebra, like fractions. It only seems like gobbledygook at the very beginning. But once you learn the fundamentals, and then apply those same fundamentals to the equation, it's a piece of cake. It is the same with the law. It's the same thing with the law. It sure is. It sure is the same thing. I mentioned last night about discouragement. Sometimes when we feel discouraged, oh sure, it's fine. It's a feeling, isn't it? But we always want to have facts over feelings. What is the fact? The fact is, I will reap what I have sown. That's the fact. But Angela, I can't handle any more disappointments. I can't handle any more discouragement. I just cannot. Put it into perspective. The disappointment, the discouragement is an opportunity for you to look at yourself and say, where can I readjust? Let me practice. It is not a judgment. When we sit in the corner and we want to throw in the towel because I can't handle one more disappointment, what are you doing? What seed are you planting? Disappointment. That's what you're planting. And if we plant the seed of disappointment, what shall we reap? That's why we feel stuck in that loop of, I can't handle one more disappointment. Well, then plant a seed of accomplishment by stating the facts. And the facts are simple. The facts are simple. The all is mind. The universe is a mental creation. As within, so without. As above, so below. Everything vibrates between two poles, a swing to and fro, creating a rhythm, an ebb and a flow. Every cause has its effect, and every effect its cause. A projection of the will, giving life, giving form. Masculine, feminine, which is the law of gender. That is your encouragement today. Practice. I trust everything made sense. If not, in the description, there's a LINKTREE. Click on that LINKTREE and you will see a little envelope. That little envelope is for you to send me an email. I do love you. And I look forward to seeing you tonight at 9:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we feel the thought. And hit the Tibetan bowl. That's what we'll be doing. Alrighty, y'all. 3, 2, 1. Much, much, much love to you all.